What up, guys? Today we are comparing the cheapest Magpul flip-up sites compared to the most expensive Magpul flip-up sites. I won't keep you waiting. Let's jump right in. So the cheaper offering is the polymer M-bus flip-up sites. See them both right here. And we're going to compare it to the M-bus Pros right here. This one in the rear is the Pro LR. So this one has elevation adjustments as well compared to the regular Pro model. We'll talk more about that in a bit. But yeah, first thoughts on these, you can tell obviously the M buses are much thicker and take up more rail space overall compared to the Pro, which is much more thin and streamlined. So here's another aerial view of the two. You can see that the polymer model does take up much more space on the rail overall. And I do have the polymer model technically mounted backwards. I'll talk about that a little more too. So first off, let's look at the M-bus models. The polymer model is about $50 to $60, something around there. Each metal flip-up site of the Pros are $100-ish or more. So obviously that is one advantage to the polymer, and they do have spring-loaded presses. So if you push right here, its spring load shoots up. It also has little tabs on the side right here to do the same thing, which is why I have it mounted backwards. So if my hand is gripping like this, I can reach over and more easily engage that. I mean, a site's a site. It doesn't really matter which way it's facing for these sites. But yeah, that's a little more explanation on that. Also, you'll notice that the front post, hope you guys can see that okay, the front post where you actually line up, on the polymer, it is a little bit thicker than the metal ones. So just something to be aware of. It does have elevation adjustments. So it comes with a little knob that you put down and twist to raise or lower the front sight. And yeah, I mean, it works pretty solid, but it is chunky, a little beefy. So, alrighty, now moving to the rear sight here, you'll see the red dot in front of it, but it mounts tucked away just behind it. And I have it moved up a little bit forward. So when I go to grab the charging handle, it's not too blocky. It will kind of get in the way of the charging handle if you have it back too far. So I like to run it a little bit more forward to get my fingers right in there. And you'll see in the rear right here, this knob, and that is your windage adjustment. Similar to the front, you push down right here and it's spring loaded. And that's what it looks like when it is raised. So you have this peep sight here. Come on, camera, work with me. It does have a little lever in front of it that you push this down. This little piece will slide forward and it will enlarge your sight picture back here. And yeah, this set is a little bit chonkier for sure. All right, let's check out the Pro model. So as you can see, it takes up a lot less rail space and very thin and streamlined. The metal construction and finish does look and feel very solid. I've had this on and used it for a good little bit now. And you'll notice on this one, there's no spring assist. You do have to physically pull it up and engage it. But manipulating this is very easy and very positive. You can hear the clicks when you engage it. Up here at the front, we have the wheel for your elevation. And you'll notice the front post is much more fine. So you can take very, very precise shots with this. I actually used this in a competition Red October last year, and I was able to hit things out to about 200 yards, actually with pretty decent accuracy. I'm a okay shooter. I'm better than most maybe, but definitely not top level. So I was impressed with how well I did with it. All right, now let's check the back sights. So again, you can see that these take up much less rail space and very thin too. Same really strong construction overall, and there's a little less hanging in the front for if you want to run an optic far back. Also, it's very thin all the way down, so you can run this thing really far back and still have plenty of room to grab your charging handle. I think that's a huge plus for these alone, and a little less bulky to get in the way for your fingers. On the M buses, you could still run it kind of far back, but I just don't really like how it feels. Like it almost feels like I'm gonna slip off the charging handle. Now I could get a bigger charging handle, but overall this just doesn't feel as optimal. Here's what they look like flipped up. And so on this one, this is your windage adjustment. And on the LR model, it also has a elevation adjustment, which is this wheel right here. Here is your rear sight window, and you can also increase your sight window, sight picture by flipping down this front knob similar to the other model. So which model is right for you? If you want to have backup sights and you're on a budget, I would say the M-Bus ones are fine. Just know that you're not going to get nearly as much adjustment as the Pros. Also, if you're looking to have a lot of attachments on your rail, and you need that extra space, you can clearly see that this does take up a couple extra notches along your rail, both on the front and the rear sights. And the Pros, with that smaller front post, you can truly shoot much more precisely with the Pros, them being full metal construction, the adjustments, and that real fine front line on the Pros. For these, sure, you can still hit something out pretty far, but it's not going to be nearly as accurate. But hey, it's still better to have something than nothing. But for me, I'm going to probably go with the Pros on almost everything I have now. I got these as a first time try, and they were fine, but once I got the Pros, I can't go back. It is hard to spend $100 for both the front and then the rear also. But they are far more superior. So if you have the chance to try the two, definitely do it. And you might notice some of these differences. But for me, yeah, I'm gonna go with these all the time from now on. Not that these are terrible, they're okay, but these are just so much more superior in my opinion. But yeah, guys, I hope this information was helpful for you if you're considering these two options. If this video helped you out, feel free to throw up a like. And if you want to see more stuff like this, you can also subscribe to my channel. I have a lot more stuff like this already out and more coming. So thank you guys so much for joining. Take care.